This is our basic flooring blank, and in this particular one we put circle saw marks onto it. What we're going to be showing you today is how we make a piece of circle saw flooring. So we're going to be taking this from what you see in this product, which is the blank, all the way to the end product, which will show the finish on it. And we have a machine here that, for lack of a better term, puts the circle saw marks back onto the wood. And we start out with a blank, which is dressed on both sides, and then we run it through the machine, and it puts these nice, even circle saw marks back onto it. And from there, we'll take it to the plant, and we'll run the T&Gs on the outside edge, and then from there, it'll go to the guys in the finish room who will put the finish on it. So when we get done with this, we should have a piece of flooring, be like what you put down in your house when it's pre-finished. Okay, this is our flooring blank that we saw at the other machine. It has the circle saw marks on one side. It's been blanked to a nice consistent piece. We'll be running it through the molder here, a winding molder, and it'll be putting the T&Gs and the stress relief on the back. We take the cutouts to cut the bad out of the product, and that's kind of what you see in this pile of stuff next to us. But we literally just trim out the bad, and you end up with a nice set of flooring blanks that have got the T&G, the circle saw run on it, and I guess in a second we'll show that there. So, all right, this is the flooring with the circle saw marks on it, the T&G on both sides, stress relief on the back, and it's been trimmed out. And from this point, we're ready to go to the finish shop. Getting ready to put the finish on this. This has a stain on it. And we stained it to give it a more of an aged look. In this particular case, the designer was looking for a floor that was reminiscent of an old factory floor, something that had been around and been used for 150 years. So we're doing the circle saw marks on top of it that you saw us run on the machine at the other location. Here we've run it through the molder. It has the T&Gs already on the side, so it goes down into the floor. And you see it chopped up with the defects and stuff cut out of it with the finish, or at least the stain on it. From here it goes through 2 or 3 coats of finish to get to the final product. But again, as I said, the contractor and the designer were looking something for that nice aged look, and this is actually has several different species of hardwood in it. This appears to be a piece of sycamore, and actually, believe it or not, that's another piece of sycamore, even though it looks completely different. This piece of Wormy the red oak is one that we saw similar to what we were running through the machine up there. You can see the circle saw marks on it. And when they get this finish on it, those circle saw marks will be a little more distinct. We seem to be on quite a bit of sycamore right here. Okay. I believe this is a piece of cherry. Yeah, got a piece of cherry there. It's ash, ash, and again sycamore. So we've got quite a bit of sycamore right on top of this, with some red oak and some ash and a little cherry mixed in with it. And the texture of the wood that we get with the circle saw in conjunction with the grain, can you make 2 pieces of wood that are completely different but are the same species? Like that's actually 2 pieces of sycamore, but because of the tear in the grain and the way it took the stain, it looks like 2 totally different pieces of wood. So you get that down on the floor, and it kind of gives you that look of something that's had oil and stuff that's been dropped on it for the last 50, 60 years, and it's been pre-finished and sanded out. This is the product after we've got a couple of coats of finish on it, and in this particular case it happens to be a pecan instead of what we were doing with there. They've not quite got that to a spot where we can look at it. and it has 2 to 3 coats of finish on top. And this particular job, a little different from that one. We're trying to get a hit or miss with the circle saw. At the same time, we're mixing in some that has full sewn circles with it. What I mean by that is some pieces have circle saw marks all the way across of it. Some of them just have about half of it on it. And that's a little bit of an unusual request, but in that particular case is against what the designer asked for. What they're trying to get is kind of a half worn, half not worn look. So what we did with this, we go through the same process that has the circle saw marks on it. Then when we get to the part where we take half the circle saw marks back out, we run that through the wide belt sander and just literally sand about half of it back off. So it's no big process on that. This is the final look that you get with it, again in a pecan. This happens to be the 6-inch, and this is a 4, 5, and 6-inch mix like what we were dealing with